Hello everybody, my name is Star for Destroyer. Thank you for clicking this video, and today I'm going to be playing The Council Episode 2. I believe this one... I don't know what this one's called. I know the last one's called The Mad Ones. I have no idea what this one's called. Last time I played this, I was accused of Elizabeth's murder. I don't know what happened. I didn't drink any of her alcohol with her, so I don't know what evidence they may even have to say that I murdered her. So I'm honestly just excited to see what they're gonna do now.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Okay.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
So is this real?
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the clothes have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my
Could have
sister.
went to bed with her.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet,
it's her body.
I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this now. Alright. Oh my goodness. I didn't kill her though. Lord Mortimer's office, okay.
At last we meet, Monsieur de
Hide
Richet.
and seek.
Do you mind?
Episode
if I
2,
call
Hide
you
and
Louis?
Seek.
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But
Alright,
an
Mortimer?
act of horrific violence occurred during the night. And I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. She was brutally murdered, stabbed several times. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night
Alright.
Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me,
Alright.
how did the evening begin?
She wanted me to drink and I told her no.
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came up to us. She was in a state of panic and insisted that she needed to speak to me. She said she feared for her life. I took my leave of the Duchess and followed Elizabeth to her room.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
I have no idea.
She claimed she saw my mother the previous evening on the cliff, if I remember correctly.
Interesting. I will send someone as soon as possible. But do go on.
I refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information. Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen,
What does that mean?
I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis.
Okay.
Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this.
I mean,
And
maybe she killed herself. I don't know.
You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Okay.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte,
So they're going to be on the first of my
President
list.
Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Dope. Dope. This looks like I'm in like Mount Olympus. Oh, the Cardinal.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Anything.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear.
Anything. You know,
Do
the
you
prime
know
suspect
why
is
Mr.
the dude,
Bonaparte was
Mr.
hanging
Guillotine.
around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost.
Oh, you think he's a
But I
pervert?
don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Definitely gonna talk to that boy. Alright. Let me go find that boy. Should have punched him in the face when I had the chance. Running through the halls.
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Nope, so it's definitely something up here. Need to find that dude. He's like the first. Oh, whoa!
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking
Nice
for anything
clothes.
in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
He looks very put
that?
out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Yeah. Go to your room. Go to your room. Oh my goodness. So, I'm guessing that's where it happened. Oh, she's still there? Oh, God. Oh my goodness. sorry. I'm sorry this happened to you. Ah.
The handprint on the handle is really small. I can't imagine a man with a hand that size. It must be from a woman's hand.
Okay. This.
Blood spatter indicates that the murder must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that. Knocked over bottle of wine. Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable. Poor girl bled to death.
Oh, her eyes are still open.
Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
Oh, God. I don't want to see her eyes. I don't want to see her eyes. I don't want to see her eyes. Oh, my God. Oh.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Oh.
People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
Good Lord.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Goodness.
She bled from the nose. What a strange smell. She bled from the nose. There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
That was a waste. Observe the nose.
There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Oh, that's what I just did.
There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Alright, it's the same thing. That was a waste. Alright, back up.
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs.
Oh.
The direction of the blood streaks caused by the wounds to the thorax show that she was standing when she lost blood. This proves that she was standing when she was assassinated. Possibly held by someone or something.
Yeah, we just figured that out when she was up against the wall.
More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Sexual assault. Why? I can't. Wow.
I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death. It looks looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
Oh. Oh.
No wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol.
Wrist. I'm not gonna waste that.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion.
I already did that.
It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars.
Yep. Alright. I have formed a hypothesis. Hypotheses. Oh! Oh my god. Were you in here the whole time?
Has Sir finished with this room?
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Oh my goodness, dude, you scared me.
Pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? I wonder if Elizabeth's death has anything at all to do with this pentagram. If a ritual went wrong and degenerated, Elizabeth would probably have been killed in the center of the pentagram, not 3 meters from here. That's strange.
Right.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Of course. I'm too dumb to know what she's saying. So
August 24th.
can't read it. Oh, I've already read that before. You can check out my old video to see what that said.
Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
The color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look. It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Oh my goodness. Did you do it, Mom? Why'd you do it, Mom?
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
That's a big leap. Alright. Over there.
Devil's Thorn.
Devil's Thorn. Alright, I'm out. Be good, fam. Okay, so suspect is Peru, his mother, and George Washington. So what now? Whose room is this?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Cardinal.
Huh, that's me.
Oh wait, that's my room.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
I don't think he's here yet.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Oh, Duchess! She in here? Oh, there she is, right there.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful. The murderer must have had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth.
I ain't no snoop.
Not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
What was,
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason
I mean...
why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems,
Are you
and
looking
as
at
she
me
wasn't
or the
invited to
floor?
the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily.
Yeah, I know.
Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least.
Alright.
I won't
that's it
keep
for
you, Emily.
So,
Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
goodbye. I might just look through your stuff, though. I mean, you know, he. You can confirm King George. We fought this bag. Okay.
2
I'm
coils
just looking
circle
through
the
your
lock.
stuff. Alright. I can't, like, steal her stuff with her, like...
A letter from
Right
William
there.
the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some
Fine.
powerful backers.
I didn't steal it.
Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen.
That was weird. Alright. Need to go talk to... Where is this dude?
Monsieur
Here.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
I need to talk to Napoleon. Where is he at? Not in here? Oh,
My dearest
jeez. There
son.
he is.
I'm writing to implore you to act quickly. The situation is rapidly worsening here. Paoli continues to steer our motherland, Corsica, toward open warfare between France and England. His men are everywhere. We are obliged to go into hiding and are unable to remain in the same place. A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French
Hey.
soldier.
Hey, buddy.
Monsieur
You're
de
looking kind
Richet,
of down.
please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me to...
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah,
Gregory.
and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
They're really gambling? Like, that dude's got so much money, and
Did any
you're
of you
gambling
leave during the game?
your money
Not
with him?
that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you.
Alright, relax, buddy, relax. Alright.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that
Pervert.
someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I
What
know
does that
why.
mean?
She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I
did you
was
see?
not to insist. I could have helped
What
her.
did you see?
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Monsieur Jacques Perru?
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit?
What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't. All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations.
All right, so,
you wrapped up the investigation.
So,
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do all the legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
you know, probably, bro, I'm gonna find out. So obviously, there's something in his room.
A pattern with
that
4 circles.
I have to. Honestly, I have to find something that's in his room that'll tell me did he do it.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there,
This is gonna be so
carriage will take you
frustrating,
to the
man.
Port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
Okay, that's how he got here. So... excuse me. Alright, so like how am I... wait, up here?
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris.
It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Now it's going into the Code of Wonders.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
No. Oh.
I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Alright, well, obviously, it can't... he's gonna be... like... Alright, okay. So he's... I mean, he's just, like, the prime suspect. I know that. But... obviously, I have to... ensnare him in some other way, so... this is gonna be rather difficult.
A few leaves out of an old encyclopedia.
Jelly! Alright, so... I need to talk to Washington. Whose room is this? Go in here.
Monsieur Johann van Volner.
Let me go in his room. Oh. Just a classic case of who done did it. Done diggity don don. Who done did it? Dum did it. Dum dum. He should be in here now, right? Oh, going.
Great. Honey.
Honey.
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant. So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Interesting.
Golden elixir.
Oh, did I waste a thing for that?
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Change the first letter. Oh, I don't... G? I don't know. I wouldn't even begin to... Zoo. Oh, what, maybe L-I... No. A-D... Oh, wait. No. I thought it was gonna be Adam. Nope, I can't. I can't figure this out. Oh. I ain't got no knowledge. Oh, that's right. I sent him in here. Pay no attention to me, good sir. Amber.
A fragment of amber.
Ember. He's talking again.
What can I do for you, de Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship
push your luck,
with Miss
bro.
Adams was pure and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Was your relationship over?
Exactly how long had you been seeing her?
I have no reason to answer you.
I see. Is that what you want me to tell Lord Mortimer when he asks what I found out?
It's only been a few weeks.
I get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an
That's
end to the
definitely what I'm
relationship?
insinuating.
You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
Well, because she's dead. That's what.
Please, tell me a little more about the nature of your relationship.
That is a personal matter, monsieur.
Yes, that is true. So, tell me.
All right. It was passion. That's why we couldn't stay together. It scared her.
Okay.
You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what?
Yeah.
Yes. I loved her, like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly.
I need to find George.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Alright, well, I found that. Can I go outside on his balcony? No. Alright, I gotta find George. Because he said that it was either George's boot print or the Peru. So... I am not a detective. I am not a detective. Whose room is this? Oh, that's her room. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember. I need to go into the Cardinal's room. Oh, whose room is this? Oh, I didn't even see whose room it was, so I'm just gonna walk in it. I think it was Washington's room, though. Or the Cardinals. Whose room is this? Yep, Washington. I'll have a look around before I talk to you, Mr. President. Damn it. He got his own little bath in here.
Portrait of George Washington.
Oh, it's not. Oh, he's got his own portrait in his own room. That's baller. Royal jelly. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Got nothing in here, man. Okay. Oh. Writing desk.
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward.
Alright.
It looks
This
like
dude's
a
just
note
running the
between
country.
Emily and Washington about trade deals.
The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
I don't care about the French. Alright, George, what's the skinny?
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President,
Your mouth didn't
you can
move.
guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Alright, looks like he's grieving.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes, she came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines.
Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect?
Is it your,
chicken now.
Tell me,
and
Mr.
he
President,
spoke to her.
had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her
That was a waste
father.
of a point,
You
man.
thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Peru, but that case was closed if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured, it looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Yeah, it's dude's boot. Oh, I feel like I need to... I feel like this is harder than this is a lot easier than I'm making it out to be. So, I think the last room I need to go into is the Cardinals. Just to, like, you know, cross the T's, dot the I's.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Can't go in his room? Why can't I go in his room? Alright. So... Can't go in this room.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
He's not here yet. Alright, so I'm like...
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Already went in her room.
Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
Alright, I need to go back in here. I feel like... I need to go in here because I don't know what else to do. It was his boot. His boot was in there. I just
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Choice already made.
I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations.
What?
You
Whose
wrapped
else
up the
boot would it be?
investigation.
Oh, I feel like it's something in here, and I'm not getting it.
Golden elixir. Consume without excess.
There's nothing in here, though. Oh, bitty.
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad.
Alright. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me go find. Can I go talk to Mortimer again? Because I tell him that I saw a dude's boot, but it's not letting me downstairs, so. So, I go upstairs. I can. Okay, this is up here, so can I talk to him again?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I mean, the facts that we already know. I have a culprit, I have clues.
I'm sorry,
but
my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
Right.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte
Dude's
came
got
to
loose
speak to me
lips.
about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
What's that? Did my mother sell arms? Why help a lieutenant?
Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
Well, you got me. So
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way,
No
you'll
problem,
be able to keep
buddy.
your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier,
Oh,
you
boy.
asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
If only my mother trusted me, but she remained very mysterious. I'd have been delighted to answer your question.
Is this usual for her?
As head of the Order,
Yes.
secrets are her bread and butter, as you can imagine. That said, it's the first time she hasn't let me in on the reason for her trip. And it intrigues me, to tell you the truth.
Well, I am sure that Sarah will explain everything once she reappears. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wohler, and myself.
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true.
yeah.
But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
The armistice between the Russians and the Turks. Russia's come out of it having officially won Crimea, which gives it direct access to the Black Sea.
And, at the same time, the Mediterranean Sea. I'm worried about the decisions Tsarina Catherine might decide to take. She's a woman who managed to get rid of her husband to accede to the upper reaches of power. Gaining access to the Mediterranean Sea remains her main objective. When she still had that dear Potemkin as her lover, I could always find out about her intentions, but those days are over.
This is just a big old history
Please,
lesson.
excuse me, but I'm not very familiar with Russian nobility. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
What? Oh. I know nothing about the Crusades
Unfortunately,
because I'm
my
a
lord,
dummy.
the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Oh, God.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister, the very person she came looking for. Why would she do that? Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation, until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Box room?
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Good door.
The room was just opposite Mortimer's study.
So go to the tower room. I wish they give me like, oh wait, there is a map. I'm just stupid. What's in this room? Oh. So it's downstairs then. Oh, took the long way around. Okay, here we go. No. So, we'll be over here. No. Okay, well. Go back upstairs. Go to the tower. Is this it? Whose room is this? It's gotta be in here. Oh. Is this it?
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, "We must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword." So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword.
Faith.
I recognize her love of riddles there.
Faith of a man with a sword. Jelly.
Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortar world must ripen in our...
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Can't go out there. So let's go in this room. I don't want to be surprised. It's locked. Come on.
door appears to be locked on the other side.
Open it.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
What do you open?
So much for discretion.
What's the door? Yeah. Oh.
It's open.
Yeah. All right. I'm in here.
The New Testament.
Awesome.
For as much as
What
ye
the-
know that ye were not redeemed
no,
with
come
corruptible
on.
things as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers.
Alright, I didn't need a history lesson on the Bible, but I'll take it. You know,
A
whatever.
chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Of course, I can't use a key to open it, because I never have the
Several
right
portraits
key.
of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Okay. Nothing. Okay. Alright, I am... So it's gotta be something in here.
A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Okay. Alright, that didn't help me in the least bit.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
Okay.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Okay. The sword. The man with the sword.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
He's got a spear. Oh.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Okay. I'm so dumb. Look at this. I can't even... I'm just stupid. Oh wait, I need some more jelly. Yes. Yes. Now I'm smart again. Alright. Okay, come on. Oh!
St. Paul, painted by Guido Reni. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean?
I don't know.
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
What does that mean? Alright, I got it now. Paul, Apostles, Romans.
I say then,
Have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait. A note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say?
Oh, got it.
Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Alright, follow your clues left. So...
St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait!
Who's the youngest?
That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
I don't know what that means. This is... Think about the code.
They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Oh, so wait. Alright. So then if it was 11:11... I don't know. Alright, let me see.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
Alright, so...
Now, therefore, there is utterly a fault among you, because ye go to law with one another. Why do ye not rather suffer injustice? Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded? Ah, look,
oh, my head hurts.
Here's a message. It is of paramount importance that no one finds it. Watch out for the Prussian. He's on the trail. Let's meet up.
Prussian.
I'll leave it to you to organize the rendezvous. Not today. I'm unable to do it. In the meantime, I'll follow the first group to Mark, who will reveal the answer to them. Prussian? Volner?
Mark.
I must have a word with him.
Okay, so... let's see. Mark. It was Mark. Awesome.
And he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance. Hey, there's a note here. A message from Mother in reply to E. We must leave urgently, but first I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare. Watch out for Volner. He figured out I was avoiding him. Allay suspicion. See you tomorrow evening. Stand ready. For now, let's cease all communication until we meet. Take care of yourself. I suppose this must be the last message. What happened afterward? If it's what I suspect, I fear the worst.
She shot her.
What did Mother mean by, I absolutely must go beyond the nightmare? I must go beyond the nightmare. What does she mean by that? I'm guessing it's a metaphor. I need to figure out what this means. Mortimer's getting his guests together.
Now?
I ought to join them so I don't look suspicious.
Alright. Goodness gracious, my head hurts after that. I didn't understand my mother's message. Yeah. I could have found conversations between my mother and her partner. Goodness gracious. Oh, man. Well, I know I'm definitely leaving it here because my head hurts really bad and I am just whew. Oh, no. So alright, I think I'm going to leave the video here for now. My head hurts very much from thinking about that. I have not even opened the Bible since I was in Christian school as a child, and that hurt my head a lot. Oh, that was a really bad game mechanic. I hope there's not more of that stuff in the later episodes, because I don't know. That was... whew. But anyway, I do thank you for watching this video, and leave a like, comment, or subscribe, and I just wish you the best day you can have, because I need to go to sleep because my head hurts.